Okay, we're back. So we're looking at page 104, question number 1. I'm going to talk it out like I would talk in my head. So it's like I'm talking to myself, but I'm going to talk out loud so that you learn what, first of all, what a crazy person sounds like out loud, but also how to do this correctly. So here you can see that that's a group of 3 and this is a group of 3. Because you see things that are grouped into 3s, you know right away this is compound time. Because you would not be allowed to do this in simple time. You can't group things like that because the basic beat tells us how things are to be grouped. These 2 eighth notes are because we're in 2/4 time. Basic beat is a quarter note. The 2 eighth notes have to be grouped together. In compound time, if you see, let's do this one first because it's the most obvious. We see a group of 3 eighth notes, and then we see a dotted quarter note. So we can tell that this is compound time, and it's probably 6/8 time, because this is 3 eighth notes grouped together, and this is the equivalent of 3 eighth notes. It's just it's been combined into a dotted quarter note. So the regular basic beat is 6 eighth notes. It's the literal translation of the time signature. So you go eighth, 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 put a bar to show that it's the first 3, and then eighth, 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 put a bar to show that it's the second 3. So we're grouping it based on the multiples of 3. And then when you boil these 3 down, that makes the compound basic beat, which is a dotted quarter note and a dotted quarter note. Okay? Eventually, you're not going to need to do all this basic beat stuff, but for right now, it's that like continuous practice. Just do the basic beat stuff. Even once this starts to make sense to you, keep doing the basic beats because it's just going to like reinforce and reinforce this knowledge. So now let's look at this one. We can see, well, first of all, we see 3/16 notes and the beams are connected. So this tells us we're in compound time. So if you take 3/16 notes and you boil them down, they make one dotted eighth note. And lo and behold, we have another dotted eighth note here. So if you think, I've got 3/16 and the equivalent of another 3/16, I have 6/16. 6/16 time. And then we can boil the 16th notes, 3/16 boiled down into a dotted eighth. So our compound basic beat is a dotted eighth and a dotted eighth. Like this. This one's not as obvious because there's no beams. The beams are always a dead giveaway. These beams, anything beamed in 3s, will always tell you automatically you're in compound time. This, not as much, but this is 3/4 notes, the equivalent of, and this is 3/4 notes, and there's the equivalent of 6 quarter notes in this bar, and 6 is a multiple of 3. So that's how you know that this is compound time. So 6/4 time means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 quarter notes, and then these can boil down into a dotted half and a dotted half. So there it is. Question.
So you knew it was compound time because it had a dotted note on it?
You have to look at the whole bar and then the whole song. Because if you were in, say, just an example, 4/4 time, you could have that. 3 beats plus 1 is 4. That's 4 quarter notes. But there's only 4 beats, so it can't be compound time. Here, yeah, we've got the same dotted half note, but there's also another 3 beats. You can see that there's multiples of 3 in here, and that's what tells you that it's compound time.
And you're saying you're never going to have a group of 3 connected together in simple time?
Yes, and we learned that last class, and that crazy weirdo is the triplet. but it will be drawn with a triplet thing on the bottom, and 3 equals 2. This triplet is only worth the value of 2/8 notes. So it's not the same, it's not literally 3 notes, it's 3 notes that are played in the time of 2 notes, okay? So yes. But if there aren't little triplet signs underneath, then they're just regular groups of 3s, and watch out for compound time. Now, here are the time signatures we did last class. 2/2 time means 2 half notes. There's the first half note, there's the second half note. 2/4 time means there's 2 quarter notes in each bar. 1, 2, or the equivalent. 1 quarter note, 2 quarter notes, because 2/8 notes makes a quarter note. 2/8 time, this is quite unusual. 2/8 time, like you don't really do this very often, but it exists, so theoretically we do it. 2/8 time would be 1/8 note, 2/8 notes. Oops, those look like dots, let's not confused. Here's our first 8th note, because 2/16 makes an 8th, and there's our second 8th note. So, how many basic beats do we have in this? Say it. 2. Say it louder.
2.
How many basic beats do we have in this?
2.
How many?
2.
Good. Say it loud enough that Osmo can hear you. How many basic beats do we have in this?
2.
How many basic beats do we have in this? 2. The basic beat is the compound basic beat, because we're in compound time. How many basic beats do we have here?
2.
How many basic beats do we have here?
2.
These are all duple time. Duple time means there's 2 basic beats. Simple. Compound. Okay? Triple time means that there would be 3/2 time, 3/4 time, or 3/8 time. There would be 3 basic beats at the bottom. In compound time, there would be 9 quarter notes, because there would be 3 of these basic beats. Be 9/8 time, because there would be 3 of these basic beats. And it would be 9/16 time, because there would be 3 of these basic beats. Quadruple time would be 4/2. There'd be 4 half notes. 4/4, there'd be 4 quarter notes. 4/8, there'd be 4 eighth notes. In compound time, quadruple time would be 12. 4 times 3. So we would have 12/4 time. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 dotted half notes. We would have 12/8 time, which would be 4 dotted quarter notes. And we would have 12/16 time, which would be 4 dotted eighth notes. Okay? Do we get it? Okay. Let's test your brain. Let me quickly take a picture. Picture. There's the phone. There it is. Okay. Just keep rolling. Keep rolling. Okay. That. Oh gosh. Got that. Got that. Okay. This black felt. Jinkies. It's like tattooed on the board. Oh my goodness. Okay. Where is that black felt? Just need to throw it out of the space. Okay, cast you out. Oh, it's just smearing everywhere. That's really unattractive. Okay, so I'm going to draw a time signature on the board. You are going to tell me two things. First of all, simple time or compound time. And then you're going to tell me how many basic beats it has. So let's start with 3-2 time. Is it simple or compound?
Simple.
Simple, because it's not a multiple of 3. What is the basic beat going to be?
2.
Oh God. It's going south already. This is only the first question. The basic beat is going to be 3.
3 half notes.
1, 2, 3. Okay? How about 6-2 time?
Compound.
Compound. Because 6 divided by 3 is 2. So, how many basic beats are there going to be? 2.
2.
And it's going to be basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But that's not the basic beat it's not the compound basic beat. The compound basic beat would be this. 1, 2. 2 basic beats, because 6 divided by 3 is 2. 1 basic beat, 2 basic beats. Yeah? Okay. How about this? Is this simple or compound time?
Compound.
How do you know?
9 is divisible by 3.
Because 9 divided by 3 is 3. So how many basic beats are we going to have?
3.
3. So now we just have to figure out what kind. We'll take 3 groups of 3 quarter notes. So you could just do the literal translation. So there's 9 quarter notes, but you have to boil them down into their compound time, basic beat, which is 3 plotted.
Half notes.
Okay, how about 4-4 time? Simple or compound?
Simple.
How do you know?
4.
Because that doesn't divide by 3. I mean, not in a nice way. You're gonna get some like weird decimal thing and nobody wants that. So this is literally just gonna be 4 time. Simple. How about 12-16 time? Simple or compound?
Compound.
How do you know? 12 divides by 4. How many basic beats are you going to have?
4.
4. There's going to be 4 of them. Let's figure out what they are. What's 3 16th notes? 3 16th notes is a dotted A. So always just try to think of this. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay, so we're actually going to take an early break today because what I want you to do is just take what I just showed you and I want you to go and walk. I want you to take your body and walk and get some fresh air and let some oxygen get to your brain and turn what I just showed you into permanent memory in your brain. And then I want you to come back and take a crack at the homework. So today is going to actually be a homework day. We're going to do the homework in class. And what you're going to do is you're going to work with your groups. You're going to go through it together until you get stuck. And then when you get stuck, I'll come and I'll unstick you. And then you'll keep going until you get stuck again. And then I'll unstick you again. And so it's going to be a working class. Does that make sense? And also because I'm hungry and I need something to eat. So there it is. You can kill that.